You were very unlucky in the 6 and 7 year olds last night with going global. He seems to be a star for the future. What do you think of him and how his performance has been going for you?
I think he's a horse that kind of speaks for himself. He's been magic basically ever since I've got him since last year. I have him since a 5-year-old, and he hasn't really put a foot wrong. He was in Dublin, he was clear both days. He was 4th in the final there, and I didn't really go too quick. And then in the Breeders' Classic again, he was 4th and double clear and jumped really good. And last night he was just very, very unlucky to have the back rail in the double in the 3rd round. But I mean, the important thing is he showed himself off really well, and I mean, I think everybody can see that he's all the potential to be a superstar in the future. So fingers crossed he says sound. He's going to Lanakan next week, and we'll hope for a good performance there. But he's a very exciting horse to have.
Just speaking of Lanakan, you're bringing quite a string of horses with you, aren't you? When do you head off, and how do you think that's going to go? How have you prepared for it? Are you hopeful?
I am hopeful. There's a nice bunch of horses, and they've been consistent all year. It's very difficult, like Greener over the last couple of years. It's difficult to get a result there because we head there with 5 horses from Ireland in each division. So we've 5 5-year-olds, 5 6-year-olds and 5 7-year-olds between all the Irish riders. And we'll basically jump against obviously Belgium and Dutch, Germans, all the other countries over there, and there'll be the bones between 200 and 250 horses in each class. So you can imagine to get in the final after the 2 days is difficult, but then to get a result in the top 10, or like the last time we were there, Ballypatrick Mystique was 3rd in the 7-year-olds and Clem McMahon won the 6-year-olds, and that was an unbelievable achievement for the Irish horses, because we go with such a small percentage of horses compared to what actually competes there. But going back to my horses this year, they are a nice bunch. I have Shamrock in the 5-year-olds. He's a nice horse. I have Going Global in the 6-year-olds and Blondie in the 7-year-olds, and then Darragh, my cousin that rides with me, he's riding Hitchcock. He's a Darko Stallion in the 5-year-olds. It's a lovely horse. And then Vanessa was 3rd in the 5-year-olds in Dublin, and she's been sold to a customer of ours from Dubai. So she's going to come with us from the yard to the show, and he's going to compete her there. So there's 5 horses going. So fingers crossed. And
those 5 horses, how do you plan to travel them, and when do they set off? Will they have time to acclimatise when they get there, or what way do you do it so that they're in top form when it comes to competing?
Well, it was catch-22 because for the likes of Going Global and that, it was unfortunate that so many of the good shows came together, He was actually obviously jumped here last night. He jumped in the Breeders' Classic, which was hard when you have a nice 5 or 6-year-old to leave them at home from there. So basically he has done Dublin, the Breeders' Classic in Cavan, and he's just on the way home in the truck as we speak. So he's going to get the day, he'll maybe get an hour or 2 in the field tonight and out the field in the morning, and they'll be on the truck tomorrow, they'll be on the ferry tomorrow to cross over. But like I say, when I spend a week here, it's very hard to leave the horses at home. You like to bring them here and keep them worked and keep them in a good system for going to that show. But I suppose plenty of electrolytes and just make sure they're healthy going, and I mean, they're all good and fit this time of the year, so there's not much more you can do.
And you must have somebody very trustworthy to send the horses across with them and look after them until you're able to get there.
Of course, there's always there's a big backroom team in every yard, and we just go into the ring and put the final touches on it, but it's a big team effort. And Ashley Skillen, she's the groom at the yard, so she'll be travelling with the horses tomorrow, and Darragh, my cousin, will be travelling with them as well, and then I'll fly out Wednesday morning. So of course there is, it's a team effort, like I say, we just put the final touches in the ring, but everybody's job in the yard is equally important.
And when you get back from Lanakan then, is that pretty much the end of your season, or have you more in the pipeline before Christmas?
It'll be more or less, it'll definitely steady up. We do a lot with young horses at home, so we have a bunch of 3-year-olds that'll have to be broken, and a lot of deliveries that were jumping all year will go and get a break now, and then I've some horses of my own that'll be a little bit greener and behind, so they'll come in and we'll do some of the small league shows and maybe come back here for the international show. But it'll definitely be, once we get Lanakan out of the way, it'll definitely be steadying up a little bit.
Okay, well, thanks very much for your time, Greg. We'll be watching out for you in the Grand Prix later. Best of luck, and best of luck in Lanakan as well.
Thanks very much.